Well, thanks for being here. I thought we were coming off a really good week of practice. Today will be our sixth practice of regular practice, but also be our 45th practice since June 17th. So it's not like we just started a week ago. Last week we practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, took Thursday off. I went recruiting, and then we practiced Friday, Saturday, and we scrimmaged on Saturday with ACC refs. I do that every Saturday before we play, so we'll do it again this Saturday, and then we'll have a charity game following that, and then we'll have a secret scrimmage following that, and so those guys, maybe one more time we can get reps in there. I doubt it. We'll at least have referees 4 times, before we play. We played 3 10-minute quarters. We mixed up the teams each quarter. Salas, Fredrickson, and Harris stayed together as a guard group. Johnson, Cosby, Hilder stayed together as a guard group. We just flipped the posts. A combination of Spillers and Reed and Ballou and a boss. Salas, Fredrickson, and Harris went 2-0. Last quarter, we played our top 10 against the walk-ons and Mason Hagedorn. Leading scores were Hunter Salas had 23, he was 5 of 7 from 3. Churchill Boss he had 16, he was 8 for 10 from the field. Parker had 14, Upton had 13, Omaha Blue had 13, 6 of 9 from the field. Trey Spillers had 9 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, no turnovers, and Ty Johnson had 7 assists. Marcus Marion did not practice last week due to an ankle injury. Will not practice today. He's day to day. Omaha Blue practiced all last week, still limiting his reps in practice. And because Marcus is out, that's made it tougher. But Mason Hagedorn and Owen Clemente have done a really good job of stepping up in that area. Some of my thoughts from the scrimmage defensively, we're not up to stick to touch. We got to improve dramatically on that when guarding the ball this week. Our help side was too hugged up away from the ball, not consistent in the low spot or elbow. Guards and bigs are too low on the floor, not up the floor towards the ball. 4 and 5s are late to the hedge because they're too low on the floor. 1, 2, and 3 can't stunt the help when they're too low. I thought on offense we had too many turnovers. Need to make the easy play. Too many live ball turnovers. Can't force the offense when the defensive is set. We got to move the ball, get ball reversal, and then attack. This is by far the fastest team I've ever coached. This team can really get up and down the floor. If I see the same problems when I watch the film from our scrimmage this coming Saturday, I'm not going to be pleased, and we'll have step backwards. But I thought we did have a good week of practice, but we have them to a high standard, and that's the way it's going to be. Any questions?
Steve, there are a lot of high expectations, obviously, of making the tournament. Is that added pressure? Do you even mention it to the guys, or just go out and play the year?
No, we have that pressure every year internally. That's not something that's created outside. We put more pressure on ourselves than any media person or any fan can do to us. So we know what the standard is for us, and so we just attack it every day to day.
Because college basketball is so transitional, you get new rosters every year. How thankful are you that God, I got Hunter back, I got Ham back, that you have 3 or 4 guys that.
It's awesome. I mean, to get Hunter back, it's just, I thought it was the first time since I've been here that I had my leading scorer return, but I did have Davian come back the year after COVID, and so he was our leading scorer my first year. But just to have your leading scorer back is an incredible feeling. Then to have Cameron back, who's a 1,000-point scorer already, and then Efton, who's one of the better bigs in our league, maybe in the country. And so, that's a great starting point. And then to have Parker, come back, who made 53s as a freshman and gained 20 pounds. Marcus has made some strides, but, he's been derailed by an injury. But, yeah, to have that core group back is, especially in this day and age, is a powerful thing. And it's respect to them as well, to show the loyalty they had not only to me, but to the program and to the university.
Steve, when we last saw you, Omaha was just getting revved up. What's his, I think that was like a month and a half ago or so. What's his process been like?
I think, he after you saw him in August, he came back to practice about a week, and then he just got really sore. And so it's not worth, the couple weeks there in September for conditioning. We just pulled him out. He's feeling pretty good, we're still cautious with it. He had a Jones fracture, had surgery back in May. But he has nothing structurally wrong with it. He's just, sometimes it flares up a little bit painful for him. And so we just try to limit his reps as much as we can right now because he plays so hard. You know, I don't want him out there running through the wall every possession, even though when the lights come on in November, we want him to do that. But I think he's progressing. He's trying to get his feet under him. He's gets going fast. Just his timing. I don't think he's yet to the point where, like Saturday, he caught one in the corner. I thought he was going to shoot the three. He shot fake and drove it. He made it, but I'm like, shoot the three. I just don't think that's in his DNA yet. He can do it, but he's got to train his mind to do it. And know that I have confidence in him to do it.
Steve, you mentioned fast team. Loyola Marymount fast? Describe fast.
Yeah, we try to get down there in 3 seconds. It's funny, I laugh because I didn't know how to coach when I got my first TED job in 91. I went to a one-man clinic with Paul Westhead and wrote down everything that he said, then he tried to go do it. But I didn't have Hank Gallagher or Bill Kimball. God rest his soul. But yeah, there's a lot of that not. Look, they tried to shoot it in 4 seconds. And really, truthfully, the whole key to that thing was the offensive rebounding if they miss, because nobody works on defensive transition checkouts. Think about it. So there's a lot of offensive rebounding. Where does 70% of those shots go if you shoot it from the right wing or left? They're coming to the opposite. So it was a pretty good system. We don't try to shoot it unless we can in 4. We're trying to get it in there to the scoring area in 3 or 4 seconds max, and they're good at it. Ty, elite level speed. Hunter, elite athlete, and those guys, and those wings can run. And then we have 2 guys that can really run the court, 2 bigs that can really run, Trey and Omaha. And Efton picks his spots, but those 2 guys can fly.
Does the fast help on defense?
I think so. I mean, we're a lot more longer, more athletic. Which we can change a little bit schematically, probably a little bit more towards. It's probably the first team I've had here since maybe a little bit more like my East Tennessee State teams, or just really athletic across the board. But you still got to be smart about it, But I think we're doing a really good job of contesting shots, which you would imagine with our length. But more length, more disruptive. Can do some more things. We've changed a couple things schematically. Which I'm not going to share today, but I do like the way we're moving forward right now.
Speaking of some of those things that go into this, do you have a sense yet of how deep this team will be, or does that come later after the exhibition game, after the next month, and after the?
If I had to play today, I'd play 10. Okay. Now we'll see how that progresses.
Is that with or without Marcus?
That's without.
Okay.
Because we only have 12 guys on scholarship. I played 10 today. Now you got to remember, some of those guys are going to play more minutes than others. Obviously, Hunter and Cameron and Efton need to be on the floor as much as possible. But everybody today would, that's been practicing, will play. And I hope that is the way it is as we move forward. I know after Saturday's scrimmage, this coming Saturday, we'll rank the team. We'll look at depth as we prepare to go into play, Alabama the following Friday. And then we'll go from there. We'll see how that goes. And then we got I ain't going to get a violation this year. I got a secret scrimmage on the following week. And then, we'll see there, and then we play. But right now, I'd say we play 10.
Steve, Hunter, Cam, and Efton, is it fair to say they are the clear 3 leaders of the team, or have other leaders stepped up? Is it their team?
No, it's their team. I think, you could throw Trey in there a little bit, even though he's new because he's a senior. But I've met with Cam all summer. Every week I met with those 3 guys just to get the heartbeat of the team and what they like or didn't like. Not that I really care if they didn't like it or not. Just to kind of get a feel. I trust them. They're good people. They're smart. They've been around. They're different. Hunter leads with his voice, or Afton leads with his voice, Hunter leads with the way he plays, and Cam leads by the way how hard he plays. And so they're all different, but that's the heartbeat of the team, and that, you know, it's their team, and it's we got to get everybody on the same page with them. I trust them.
Steve, with so much experience and a lot of guys on their last year within the program, within college basketball, is there a sense of urgency at this point to make it to the postseason, make a run in March?
No, I'm not going to do that. Again, I'm going to say it again. I put more pressure on myself than anybody in this room, anybody in this community. That's always the goal. We've been on the bubble at least 2 times, partially 3. It stinks. We got to get off the bubble, you know. And so we got to win those games in you know, the non-conference, and then we got to win the right games in league play. But I'm not going. There's no way I could ever put any more pressure on myself than I already do. And so I'm not going to buy into that narrative.
Steve, do you think with the perception of how much experience and all that you have back and you know, deep team, I think that will help before we even started games from the people that pick all that stuff?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, we've already had some people in here, you know, to cover us. We got some more people coming in nationally to see us. I don't think that stuff hurts. I don't think it matters. In the end, it's your body of work. But I do think those things are important. It's really important more probably for the fans. They can feel good about themselves. You know, I'm the one that sees practice every day, so I'm not so sure I feel that way. But yeah, listen. We're in the conversation. You'd rather be in the conversation than not be in the conversation, right? And so I think a lot of people think highly of our team, and they should. I think we have a good team. I really do. I think we got a really good team, and like everybody right now, we're trying to figure out what we're good at and what we got to get better at. You know, and but yeah, I don't think there's any harm in expectations, but we've always had those within our program. But outside, yeah, I think that anytime you can talk about Hunter Salas, I mean, that's a great story. I mean, he's one of the best returning, you know, 4-year guys, seniors in the country. You know, he's a potential All-American. He's a potential ACC Player of the Year. He could have went to the NBA, but he didn't. He came back, and you know, Cameron is a 4-year guy. How many of those are we gonna have left? I don't know. I hope we got a lot, but you know, he's a 1,000-point scorer. He played hurt last year. You know, Efton Reed didn't get to play for the first 7 games, and then got eligible, and then he played really well. You know, and so and none of those guys went in the portal. You know, a lot of guys went to the draft and went in the portal at the same time. I mean, that was never even a consideration for Hunter. So there's a lot of great stories. You got Parker, who's probably a guy that'll probably have a little bit of a breakout this year, I would think, as a player. You know, we know what he can do, but I think he'll do it a little bit more consistently. So if you look at our team, and then you look at Omaha Blue, who's going to become a McDonald's All-American, right? You know, former McDonald's All-American. You got Trey Spillers, who's first-team All-Sun Belt player, you know, for a really, really good, you know, App State team. Ty Johnson was starting point guard at Louisville, and one of the average 9 points a game, and one of the best free throw shooters in the league, and steals the ball at a high rate. You know, you got Devin Cosby, who we tried to get coming out of high school, went to Alabama, went to the Final Four. He can really, really shoot the ball. You know, Churchill Boss, I just read you his numbers. He's, you know, sometimes in life it's addition by subtraction. You know, and that's one thing about the portal that I know the players think it works for them. Well, it works for me too. And so I thought we did a really good job of bringing us really good players. And Juke Harris, you know, he's been outstanding. He would play today, you know, as a freshman. You know, he's got a lot of things to work on, but he's got great positional size. He competes, and he's going to be a really good player. So I think those are all good storylines for our team.
Steve, you talked about the portal. You know, how much did having roll the quad kind of in a full year in inception kind of help there? And how hard is it to manage? You have guys, you know, Hunter's going to play a lot, Cam's going to play a lot. How hard is it to manage, you know, wanting to play 10 guys, but also knowing like, hey, this guy might hit the portal if I don't play him, you know, 15.
Yeah, I don't worry about hitting the portal because like I said, if you want to hit the portal, you don't want to be here. So I'll go find somebody else that does. So I'm never worried about that because I always believe you got to be able to coach your best players. You can't coach your best players, you got no team. And so I'm not going to just give somebody some minutes because I'm afraid they might transfer. They might transfer anyway. So, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, we couldn't do where we're at today without, you know, the collective. I mean, that's just part of what it is now, you know, with our, with the landscape of college athletics and the landscape of recruiting. It's totally different than I thought it'd be even 2 years ago, you know, and, but it's here, and I don't see it going away, you know, now, you know, as we progress through how this settlement looks like and what that means, you know, that's still kind of up in the air, but we're way ahead of it. We're planning for it. We got great leadership with John Curry, Lindsey Babcock, and I feel confident that, you know, we're doing the things we need to do, but we don't really know how that's going to look. You know, the hardest thing for a coach is to be the GM. Okay, and it's not so much the recruiting. To me, it's the retention. You know, it's like you come to me and you tell me what you think you're worth, but I know all your negatives. You know, so it's like that's a hard conversation sometimes, right? And I do think that's, you know, you got to be honest, and at some point you got to play Moneyball. You know, and like, hey, you're not worth that. You know, and either you can take what this is or you can move on. Same thing in recruiting. It's not a negotiation. This is what we say. You want to go more? Then go someplace else. Somebody else wants it. We'll find them. I have total confidence in that. And so I don't sweat it when, you know, we've had a couple guys like that this fall, just, you know, got to that point. They wanted too much. And so that's fine. I don't blame them for that. They should go get it if they can get it. You know what I mean? But it's just the nature of where we're at. Change. It's a lot of change. People don't like change, but if you don't embrace it, you're going to get run over. And so you got to figure it out. And I think we've done a good job of that. And it changes each spring. What we thought was going into the spring last spring in recruiting was not what I thought it was going to be. It was nearly double. You know what I mean? So and it moves fast. And so I think we're made for it. I think there's still got to be a mix. You know, you try to get really good high school players, and then you got to, you know, mix in some portal players. And I think we've done I think we've done an outstanding job of
How proud are you of the job, the magic that you brought back to the Joel game nights?
Yeah.
Game nights are fun.
It's
The
fun.
place is rocking. The community's talking about weight basketball.
that. I can tell, you know, when I'm out. I mean, that's why we came here, to be honest, you know, to reignite that. Always knowing that basketball was really important to this school and to this community. And so, there's nothing like that now, you know. And it's hard for them teams to come in here and play. And, you know, obviously we had a lot of Saturday games last year and we had big crowds. And, you know, look, in the last 3 years we had the second best home record in college basketball. Think about that. Only one win behind Houston. If Hunter Salas hadn't sprained his ankle walking off the court against App State, we'd probably beat Georgia. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of the fans. I'm proud of the students because they came back. Look, once you go away, it's easy not to come back because you find something else to do, especially in this day and age, right? I mean, there's 50,000 streaming services you can watch a movie or a game on, right? So it's, you know, to recapture that is a credit to players, to the type of players that we've been able to coach, and to our fans and to the students. It's fun. It's a fun place to be. We're doing some really pretty cool things in there right now to get renovated a little bit, make it even better. And so I challenge everybody to come out and watch us play. And I would say what I've always said too, it's not, please don't come because who we're playing. Please come to see us play, no matter who that is, because you never know. This will be the last year to see Hunter. He didn't have any more eligibility left. I wish he did. You know, who knows? You know, some of these other guys. So come see them and enjoy it. And I could tell just being out and about. And I've been out and about more this year than last year. You know, I mean, a year ago right now, my head was spinning. You know, I was just gotten home on the 22nd, being 8 days. And so I just feel a lot more, I just feel more grounded this year than what we went through last year.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Damn, you just cut me off.
I mean, it is 3:08, but if
Hey.
you want to keep going for a couple
I'll
minutes.
talk
we can.
whatever. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, Coach, just real quick, Jalen Gilkey, the vet from Washington State.
Yeah.
Just wanted to see, you talked about the success you guys had as a program here at home. On the other side of things, didn't go so well for you guys on the road. Has that been something you've been stressing already? I know we're still a couple weeks out, but how important?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's so much like right now you talk about road, you just talk about how to win a game, right? And that's get stops, and that's make them miss and not hope that they miss. Have tougher possessions offensively late in the game by getting a great shot, not a quick shot, not a turnover. I mean, there's a really fine line in those games, and you're especially when you're right there. You're not, you could just be getting blown out, and then it is what it is. But yeah, we obviously know that that's got to improve, and some of it has to do with we've changed a little bit scheme wise. Some of it has to do with we got a little bit older, we got a little bit more athletic, maybe we got a little bit damn tougher. We'll see. But yeah, those things are obviously important, and we got to do a better job of doing that.
The
Anybody else?
NCAA oversight committee that you're on, do you
Yeah.
have some ideas that you
That was a
want-
major mistake for me to
I
join
know.
that thing.
You know how special March is. Is there something that can be done to make
I have no
November,
idea.
December, January?
I don't think listen, we meet so much. In fact, I have a meeting tomorrow. I have an in-person meeting on next Monday and Tuesday during practice in Indianapolis. So it's a 4-year commitment. I'm just getting my feet on the ground, so we'll figure that out. Send me an email. I'll propose it. But it's an honor to be on it. It is time consuming though, and I guess you don't really realize that until you get your ass right in the middle of it, and then you're like, I'm not a big email guy. I get like 50 of these emails. I'm like, whoa.
Steve, you mentioned in passing the situation you were in a year
Yeah.
ago. Can you give everybody an update on how Janetta is doing?
Yeah. Well, again, a year ago today, she could barely, she couldn't really get out of bed, and I was overwhelmed the first week she came home, right now. I didn't realize what it was like to be a caregiver. Because I went to bed for 42 days, I went to bed in the hospital at night, and somebody else took care of her. I didn't understand what was going on when I was sleeping. Well, I found out fast, and it was a lot. And I let my son. Thank God Christopher moved back in the house because I couldn't have done it by myself. And so she's come so far from that. If you think about it, she couldn't walk. She couldn't get out of bed, and now she can walk. She can pretty much walk without a cane, especially around the house. I hardly see her use her wheelchair anymore. She's working really hard, but look, there's the frustration of not having her balance back. So she can't drive. So when you can't drive, you don't have your independence. And when your husband's gone all the time and your children are empty nest, then you're home alone a lot, And so I think there's a lot of frustration for her with that because being a coach's wife for 36 years, she's learned to be independent. Because if you don't, it's frustrating. And so I think she's really frustrated with that. But we're very fortunate. Look, she set a goal when Christopher got married on the 20 whatever. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. In August, got married in August. She walked down the aisle and back out, and she danced with her son. Now and look, let me tell you something. Joel was there. We weren't talking about a straight line in a church. We went down into an amphitheater and back up in the mountains of northeast Tennessee, which obviously got devastated this week. But so to answer your question, I think she's doing great. We appreciate everybody's support, but there's still a lot more to do. But where we're at today compared to where we were at a year ago, we're a long ways from that.
All right,
All right.
there we go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Don't ever cut me off again. Now you go talk to them, they'll tell you how mean I am.